Hi, I'm Darrell, and welcome to Blue Collar Sports Talk. I'm here with James,
Morning.
and it's another Thursday morning at about 10 o'clock on September the 8th, 2022. We did a little quick show last week to kick things off, and we're going to start off this week with James's favorite season, NFL
Oh
season.
my gosh. Just football in general. I'll take USFL. I loved it.
Yeah, okay, you're right. I narrowed it down
Man.
to the NFL, but you're right. College football, NFL season, both. Football in general. Great time. Starts today, the NFL season. Specifically, we have the Bills and the Rams. Who do you like?
Wow. Hands down, I gotta go with the Bills. I mean, talking Super Bowl preview, a lot of people are saying I don't think it's a preview. But I do think Buffalo made a lot of right moves. They look really, really tough this year.
They're on the road. It's the first game. You think they're going to take one on the road against the Rams?
They're to me always offense are the ones a little bit slower to get things going, start the year, and Buffalo brings a defense. Granted, I know Aaron Donald's on the other side of the line, but
No, he's not. He left. So Aaron Donald left, and also Stafford had surgery on his elbow. So I'm going to go with you. I think the Bills are going to get this. You forgot that Aaron Donald left.
no, he's there.
I'm going to check the internet here real quick. And Aaron Donald. Whoops. Oh, you're right. Why did I think he left?
I'm not sure who you're thinking of. Von Miller went to the Bills. Were you thinking of Von Miller leaving?
No, I was thinking Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack changed teams again.
Yeah, he changed teams.
I think he went to the Raiders. No, wait. He went back. I don't know where he's at.
Yeah, he doesn't know where he's at.
Obviously, I don't know where I'm at because I thought Aaron Donald went somewhere else.
No, Donald just had that big fight with the Bengals in the preseason, swinging a helmet, and the team just said, "Psst, don't do that."
No, you're right. You're right.
But two very evenly teams. I mean, if you go off last year's numbers, very similar. Quarterback play, very similar. I think it comes down to the defense, and I do believe Buffalo has a better defense. Probably have a top 5 all year. I could see Buffalo making a Super Bowl. I do not see the Rams making it to the Super Bowl this year.
Well, you think it's going to be a defensive battle?
Yes.
Vegas has the overs and unders at 52, and they have Buffalo favored by 2.5.
Okay, there you go.
It will be a close game. I just think there's going to be a lot of mistakes. And all bets are off for the very first game of the season. I don't care what Vegas says.
100%. I'm thinking 24-13, so I would definitely go on the under. A couple early 3-and-outs or, 5-6 plays on a punt type thing. But, yeah, what a great game, though. NFL nailed it for a first game of the season. Good Thursday night game.
Okay. So you think that's a great matchup?
I do. I think it's going to be very good football.
I hope so, too.
I do.
I think it's going to be great. I'm happy for Stafford getting out of the Lions organization.
Oh, my gosh.
And actually getting that ring. So I'm happy for him, and we'll see what he does on the follow-up season. Okay, so you think this is a strong matchup. Conversely, who do you think is the weakest NFL matchup this week?
Oh, well, must not watch football?
I don't care what parameters you put on it. You said something about a weak matchup coming up.
The Monday night game has probably got to be the worst matchup as far as an entertaining game.
Okay, who is it?
Denver and Seattle. And I know why they did it.
I love the Broncos.
Well, Russell Wilson's going to go against Seattle. Right.
I lived in Denver briefly. I just like the Broncos. We'll see what Wilson does. I don't know.
If Broncos don't win by 20, they should just go ahead and release Russell Wilson right away.
No way. I don't see how you see that. They have a brand new coach in Denver. They have a brand new quarterback. They've had
a very proven quarterback.
They've had how many months to see if it all works together in the Mile High City?
Who's Seattle's quarterback?
Sure, you tell me.
Geno Smith.
Okay, there you go.
Thank you.
Who's his coach?
They lost Bobby Wagner. They've lost like 9 of their 11 players.
Do they still have the fastest wide receiver ever to have stopped a guy
he is awesome.
running down an interception?
Gosh. He needs to go to a different team to win him a ring.
Who is this? Who are we talking about?
Metcalf.
Okay.
Yes.
You think he should go to a different team? They should just deconstruct Seahawks.
They're tanking. I'm calling it right now. Before even game 1 plays, Seattle is tanking the season, trying to get one of those, whatever quarterback has a Heisman year, and getting them in the top 3 pick.
Interesting. I can't wait. because I think this whole season for the Broncos, but even though I'm a fan, um, is a 50-50. Who knows? We don't know what's going to happen.
Right.
Are all the pieces going to work? Sometimes they do. Are we going to have a season like when Peyton Manning came in? That's what everybody hopes.
Hopes. AFC West, loaded. I mean, you look at all 4 quarterbacks, all 4 defenses, and the weapons on the offense.
Yeah.
I mean, somebody has to finish 8-9, 9-8.
Vegas thinks the Cowboys are going to do it, but Randy Gregory, who came over to the Broncos, he's questionable. So that might be a game time decision. That could be huge. They are favored by 6.5, a whole touchdown, and the overs or unders are a little low, 44.5. So they think maybe 20 points a team or 44 for Denver.
34-10.
And 34-10 is what you think. I can't wait for that. I know you think it's going to be weak, but
No, as a Denver fan, it's going to be a great game for you. You're going to see a good moving offense. You're going to see a defense getting some, stops and looking very dominant until they go to play whoever they play next.
I think you're going to see a very possessed Seahawks team to go out and prove it wasn't just Russell.
Okay.
I'm not saying they're going to do anything about it. I'm just saying they're going to act like they're possessed, and we'll see what happens.
Another intriguing matchup, though, New England, Miami.
Vegas has Miami favored, but they're at home.
Right. Yeah, of course.
I don't know. It's a 50-50 game. I just want to see what Tyreek Hill does at home in a game where hopefully his whole family's there and he just goes off.
If this guy can get him the ball.
Tua.
Right.
Is Tua going to get him the ball? I think he can. Tyreek, we'll see.
Yep.
Overs, unders on that game are 46.
I think it's about right.
And Miami is favored by 3.5.
So virtually a half a point. You get 3 points just for being a home team.
Well, okay. So, again, it's the first game of the season. The Chiefs lost Tyreek Hill, but they're favored by 6 over the Cardinals. But they're on the road. Yeah, Miami has a new coach.
Oh, yeah. Yep.
Miami has a new wide receiver. Patriots have potentially one of the best coaches going right now.
But they don't have a coordinator. Remember, he doesn't want to announce a
Yeah,
offensive coordinator. Let's not do that. But they do.
we'll see what happens. I
Yeah.
think
Bill might be out coaching himself.
well, it'll come down to whoever has the last series, whoever has the ball for Miami and Patriots. I'm going to say the Patriots knock them off on the road.
Really?
Yeah. And I think the Cardinals lose by
10?
Oh, man. This might be the first overtime game.
Okay. I do agree with you. Miami, I think, wins by a touchdown.
I think this could be the first overtime game, and I think they're going to trade touchdowns. And I think 53.5 for the overs and unders is going to be low.
I think Kansas City is ready for Murray and his little dancing, and it's a 10-point game.
Browns and Panthers, I'm sure some people care about it. I'm not a really big fan of either one. I know they've had both teams have moved on some quarterbacks.
Right. They're playing each other.
And you have drama.
Right.
Don't care. Sorry.
No one cares. Sorry, CBS. No one's watching.
Let's see. We've got Vegas against the Chargers. We're in LA. So this is a home team for Raiders fans, or a home game for Raiders fans. I'm sorry. I said that wrong. It's in LA. So this is going to be a home team for Raiders fans because they just moved, is what I'm thinking. There's going to be a lot of Chargers fans and a lot of Raiders fans, and I can't wait to see all the fights in the stands, maybe? No, I don't know.
Man, they'll be on the video. They'll be on live stream 3 days later.
We'll see. Vegas has this. Chargers as being the clear-cut winner. I don't know, but they only have them favored by 3, and overs and unders are at 52.
Very big division game early.
It is.
It's like I said, AFC West loaded. You get 2 teams coming out swinging at each other first game. So huge leg up on whoever can pull this one out. Right now, as you say, never know what's going to happen. I think it's a coin flip.
Yeah.
This is a
fun afternoon game.
Yeah,
So
I
3
really
o'clock
like Justin
our time.
Herbert.
Oh, Justin Herbert's amazing.
Man, I think if he gets those weapons going, great afternoon game for CBS.
People love what Dak Prescott does, but I've always wondered if you put Justin Herbert in just about any offense,
Oh.
what you could do. If you matched him up with Tyreek Hill, because his arm's a cannon, I think.
And decision making.
Yeah.
Yep.
Fun to watch. That is going to be a great game to watch,
Yep.
I think, if you're a Chargers fan. That should be a lot of fun.
The one, Frisco Bears. Frisco at Chicago. San Francisco favored by 6.5. I'm going to guess because of their defense. Over-under is a whopping 40 points. You have Trey Lance taking over the reins and Fields trying to get his second season going with no weapons, no help from the Bears. So this is my upset of the week.
Really?
I am picking the Bears to win this game at home. Their defense somehow, to me, it's like the Steelers. No matter who's there, who coaches them, whatever, the tradition has passed from the next guy to the next guy, and that defense always shows up.
This is Darrell shocked. The Bears an upset week 1 against the Niners.
That's my upset of the week.
Wow, that's I like it. We'll go with it. I don't see that happening, but who knows? Kittle's questionable, overs and unders are set at 40.5.
Well, you saw what the media's already started. Is Trey Lance going to look over his shoulder now that Garoppolo signed a 1-year deal with the Niners? I hope he does, because if he plays scared and shaky and not, this is my team, Bears will sneak right in there and take that.
Yeah, all it takes is coaching. Hey, get out. Pull that kid, sit him on the bench, let him watch, and then bang, bang, boom, they're up by 3 touchdowns, and the Bears are going, what? Oh.
And then Jimmy G's like, am I looking over my shoulder? Who's looking over their shoulder?
Yeah.
Not playing what's in front of them.
So if everybody had eyes in my studio today, you'd see James covered head to toe in Cowboys gear, and he just can't wait to talk about the Buccaneers and the Cowboys. They're playing in Tampa Bay. Giselle. Oh, no, wait. I'm sorry. They're not. They're playing in Dallas. I apologize. Tampa Bay's quarterback is reportedly having a fight with his wife because he retired, and then he said, no, I love football. So we'll see how his head is in the game.
Yeah, he's too long in the tooth to let that affect him. Even as a Cowboys fan, I don't have them winning this game. I think it'll be just like last year, down to a field goal. Dallas missed a field goal to tie it. So I think this year it'll be the same thing. It'll come down to a made or a missed field goal, and the Bucs will come out ahead, unfortunately.
Bucs are favored by 2.5 in Vegas. Overs unders 51. Let's see. Cowboys had a major injury in their offensive line recently.
Yes.
That's going to hurt them. They brought in a former, I think he was...
He's 40 years old, Jason Peters.
He was a former Eagle. He's been around. He's played at a bunch of teams.
Played with the Bears last year.
Amazing player, though. But he's 40. You hit the nail on the head. He's 40.
He's not going to be ready for 3 games. They're hoping to have him against the Giants week 3.
Oh, they're going to have to do that much conditioning.
He did 0 training camp preseason with any team.
Oh,
so he's coming off the couch.
Okay.
Right.
All right. 40 wings a day.
Right.
And maybe a couple cocktails.
40 years old, coming off the couch. Don't worry, coach. I'll see you in a few weeks. So, yeah.
Yeah, but you strap that helmet on and the beast comes out if you've been an offensive lineman for a long time. So they're going to push it. Unfortunately, that might make him hurt, and we'll see what happens.
Right. If he can hold out until Tyrone Smith comes back, it's huge. Right now, just having him as veteran leadership, they said that he has given a lot of verbal help and pointers to the young guys right now.
I'm going to go against you. I'm going to go against Vegas. I think Tom Brady is one of the best, fiercest competitive quarterbacks that's still playing the game right now.
Yes.
And I think he's going to make one mistake, and I think that's going to be the ball game. And I think the Cowboys win their home opener at home against the Tampa Bay Bucs.
That'd be amazing.
I've been wrong before.
I'm pretty sure in all those eliminator leagues, that game is going to be ignored.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. It's fun. We are in, of course, Nebraska. And why do I bring that up? Because we are rabid fans for volleyball. We're going to change gears here a little bit. We talked college teaser football at the beginning. We talked NFL teasers at the beginning. The one thing we didn't tease was UNL volleyball. We played last night. We played a tough Creighton team. We played at UHI Health Center in Omaha.
And the largest crowd ever to watch female volleyball.
Yeah. Between us and Creighton, we have set 2 or 3 records for attendance.
At least, yeah. Last year's record was, the last record was like 14,000. Last night, 15,797. Oh my.
Yeah, I challenge them to
get to 16.
Hold a match at Memorial Stadium.
Oh my goodness. It would sell out. Creighton UNL play in the 50-yard line at Memorial Stadium. You're getting 200,000 people there. I'm exaggerating.
No, I know. Yeah, it holds 90, but I know we have 100,000 in there.
Oh, no, we'd be standing on the field. Yeah. It's a small court. I mean, you got to put everything all the way down in there.
Dan, who's the comedian? Cable guy. Dan.
Well, son of a...
Larry the cable guy.
Larry. God, grief.
What's his real name? Dan Whitney. Nebraska native, huge Husker fan. Larry the cable guy. Why did I start talking about this? I don't know. My brain's all over the place today.
Well, last night...
He's a rabid fan.
Yeah. So, Nebraska volleyball, last team in the country to lose a set. They were set free, cruising through, win the first 2 pretty decently, and then they lost that third set in extended play, extra, whatever you want to call it, and then they lost the next one. Not only did they drop a set for the first time this year, they lost 2 in a row.
Good. I want them to be challenged. I want them to get better. I want Coach Cook to expand on that and teach the kids, hey, you have to continue to play all the time and hard. And he's still messing with his lineup. I mean, that was a fun match. It was very exciting.
Right. And no, Creighton's no scrub. They're 17th in the country.
Right. Oh, right, right. I'm not taking anything away from Creighton.
Man,
Creighton's
huge.
Amazing.
All that volleyball talent in this state.
So what I mentioned earlier, having them do it at UNL, Dan Whitney, Larry the Cable Guy, did a concert July 4th. I can't remember when. And they had people out down on the floor, and it worked well. They had a stage set up. It was great. Could we do that for UNL volleyball?
Yes.
Yeah.
Hey, in the Cowboy Stadium, they played the Final Four in there.
Yeah.
And had a huge attendance.
And with all of the big screens all around, no one would have a bad seat, I don't think.
Oh, goodness. No.
90,000 fans screaming during volleyball. What would that
Could you
feel
imagine
like?
how loud those girls would be like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Could they call their offense? Could they do their stuff? Yeah, it'd be fun. I would like to see that happen once.
We're going to have to go to hand signals, boss. Hand signals.
Hand signals. Speaking of hand signals, do you think the new coach of Long Beach State uses hand signals to tell his players where to serve, just like John Cook, his former boss?
If I took anything from Cook, well, there'd be numerous things.
Tyler,
that would be one of them, yes.
Tyler Hildebrand is the head coach of Long Beach State.
Yes.
Amazing coach, was at Nebraska last year.
And at their position where they're sitting on the sideline, as a coach, obviously you're watching the game, they see how someone's receiving the serve and what kind of serve their girl has and what kind they receive. So yes, if I'm Tyler, I know those girls. I just left, for crying out loud. But yeah, I'm like, Cook, that is a genius idea. You take all the pressure off your server. Here, no, get it on this side of the court, this side of the court. I want one here. And if you can do it one, you get to be Cook's server and he'll bring you in the game. If you can't do it, guess who rotates out come serve time?
Well, we've been having a lot of service errors early. It's early in the season. Speaking of somebody that's familiar, Callie Schwarzenbach is also on Long Beach State.
You know, and I don't want to...
She was great at blocking.
Man, but her freshman year, Big Ten freshman year, led Nebraska, had most blocks as a freshman, 177, something like that. But her junior and senior year just wasn't dominant.
It's because she didn't play because we had true freshmen coming in that coach used, and he continues to do it. Beginning of the season, you haven't seen a whole lot of Allie Batenhorst. You've seen a lot of Kayla Krause. You've seen a lot of big hit Whitney Lonstein. She says she
Ooh.
wants to change that to big and smart hit Whitney Lonstein, which I agree. You see the whole court and you become a smart hitter, and with that much power, you are unstoppable, Whitney.
Led the team in kills last night.
Yeah. Maddie Kubik, amazing. Her sister was the one who finished it off last night, and exciting, fun to watch. But Long Beach State has an amazing setter. I think their possibly freshman setter just took conference. What did they call her? Setter of the week, possibly.
Yeah, they give out those weekly, monthly awards, but yeah, I would guess it'd be probably a weekly. They have a few girls. They have a very small team. Long Beach does. I'm sure he's working on the recruiting. He has a couple proven seniors that looks like they can put it down, but their last few games they have struggled a little bit.
6'3", 6'4", 5'9". I mean, they're pretty. They've got some talented people. It'll be a fun match. And
It'll be a fun match. Yep.
Tyler Hildebrand knows exactly what he's going to do. This is the second opponent already that has a coach that is either a former assistant and or a former player. Kayla Banworth came in. She was a great player, turned into an assistant coach, is also an Olympian, and now the head coach of Ole Miss. And she is going to be great. Last year, we played Louisville, who was also coached by a former player, former assistant, Danny Busboom. Coach Cook is amazing. He not only brings his coaches along and brings them up and helps them become better, and actually encourages them to find head coaching jobs.
Yes.
And he does the same thing with his players.
Yep.
So we've been especially
Spoiled.
Spoiled
Yeah,
and humbled
big
by
time.
having this person here this entire
Yes.
time, right after Pettit and Cook came in and somehow improved an amazing system. So
I hope he has that foresight when he knows my last couple of years, he keeps one of those coaches here, so that he don't just lets them all go out and branch. He's like, hey, wait a minute, you're my successor. Please stay around, and I'm retiring in 2 years.
we'll see what happens. You never know. I mean, it's fun. He's a smart guy. We'll see. I think he's going to stick around and coach for as long as he can.
Oh goodness, yeah, he's loving it
He
still.
enjoys it.
He still looks like he enjoys it. Yes.
Even facing people that he coached and then coached with, and they become coaches, I think he enjoys the competition. So it's a lot of fun. Okay, I can tell that you are chomping at the bit to talk about football, and we will do that. All right, let's see. Saturday is going to be a fun day, September the 10th, 3 p.m. volleyball, Long Beach State. That will be a fun UNL volleyball matchup with a former coach and a former player. And also in the great state of Nebraska, 6 o'clock, we're going to have Georgia Southern come to town for some football. Thoughts, James?
I mean, well, why not watch the win with the women's volleyball and then stroll on over to the stadium and watch Nebraska take care of business? Hopefully, as Nebraska fans, we know nothing's wrote in permanent pin here. So, I mean, they're favored by 22.5. I believe they win, but I don't think they cover. Over under 62. Georgia Southern did put up 59 points, I believe, their first game.
Yeah. Points do change every now and again. The site that I'm looking at has Nebraska favored by 23.5. And this is a 6:30 night game. Georgia Southern. I don't know. It should be interesting. We have a lot of transfer kids. We lose a lot of transfer kids. I know Georgia Southern's the same way. A lot of great coaches out there. This should be a fun game. It's always fun to see what happens on the sidelines. I like to look and watch Scott Frost and how he interacts with his new offensive coordinator. And last week when I was watching, I can't remember what network carried the game, but they brought up an interesting point. Neither Scott's offensive coordinators are up in the sky in the box to get a better view.
No. Whipple wanted to be on the field. I believe that's when that was his thing. But Chandler, the defensive guy, wants to be up top.
You see the field a lot better up top. I Hey, if it works for them, great. If it doesn't, I don't know what's going on, but we'll see. 23.5. I don't think they cover either.
Right, I do believe they win. Hopefully they get it locked in a little sooner than they did against North Dakota. That second half, late third, most of that fourth quarter, they looked to play with a lot more confidence. We need that to go from game to game. We can't be playing not to lose. We need to be playing to dominate and win.
Yeah. I wish we still had Wayndale Robinson. That guy was so fast.
Mm-hmm.
And thanks to the transfer portal, he's no longer with us. And I'm pulling up the roster for Kentucky. They're playing Florida this weekend. I don't even know if he's still with the team. Did he leave for the NFL?
I believe so, but I don't even know if he got drafted.
Yeah, he's no longer with the team. Honestly, I think the Kentucky Florida game is going to be the most exciting game of the weekend.
Well, look at Florida, unranked last week, has a decent win against Utah, and jumps to number 12 in the country.
Well, I think they deserve that. I thought it was crazy that they went in unranked.
That's all the changes in the offseason.
Oh yeah, you never know.
Right.
This one's pretty close, according to what Vegas has it. They do have Florida favored by 6.
Over under really low for me. Like I said last week, it is tough to play in the swamp, and Florida showed with their defense, but I don't know. I might be taking the over on that one.
I'm with you. 52.5, I think, is low. Both teams have the ability to put up a lot of points.
Right. And defensive turnovers turns into some quick scores.
I know this isn't last year, but look what Florida and Alabama did. Didn't they trade scores back and forth, back and
A little
forth,
bit.
back and forth, back
Yeah.
and forth? So they have the ability to put up a lot of points.
I think it's going to be a really good evening game. It's nice to have a night game that is worth watching besides OU and Kent. I mean, can I definitely not changing the channel to that game on Saturday.
Oh, I didn't expect that one. For you, I expected you to sit in front of the television all day long for OU and Kent. No, I didn't. A state over, we've got the Iowa, who's sitting at 1-0 against Iowa State at home.
Okay.
Iowa's at home, so
Iowa State has got to be chomping at the bit, getting Iowa this early after that, whatever you want to call it, last week with a field goal and 2 safeties to win the game. And Iowa State might be getting Iowa at the right time to finally win in Iowa.
I agree. I think Iowa State comes in and shocks them. Shocks the nation, shocks themselves, shocks their grandmothers. I don't know. Well, they'll shock somebody. I want them to win.
I do too. I'm a huge pulling for Iowa State. Big 3:00 showtime, so I can get that going right before the big red. Over under 40.
And a half. I have 40.5.
Yeah, 40.5. Man, I almost want to take the over. But I mean, Iowa scored 7. Do they even score 15 points this week?
Great
40,
question.
40
Yeah.
might be one of those that's right at 40, 39 to 42 points, and Vegas is like, ooh, which way are you going to go? So, yeah, I wouldn't touch the over and under on that one. But I would definitely take Iowa State in the points.
I would go unders. I definitely would. I would go unders, and my hope is Iowa State comes in and wins. I don't think it'll happen. But that's why we play the game.
Yeah. Speaking of a nice game, though, Tennessee Pitt at 2:30.
Both of them won last week. This is an even matched up again. Pitt's ranked 17th. Tennessee's ranked 24th. So,
Tennessee on the road giving up 6 points on the road. That's very interesting. Traveling up to Pitt, favored by 6, over under 67. Wow.
Yeah, they want them to put up a lot of points.
Man, Pitt showed me a lot coming back. They battled West Virginia, and West Virginia had beat them the last 2 times. So Pitt was like, no.
Pitt won on a pick 6.
Well, that tied it, right? But I did flip the game.
Something.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
But yeah, heck of an ending. I mean, their guys played, and I really think this is going to be pushing that over 67.
A lot of great sports coming at you this weekend.
Man.
I love it. Even if even if the only TV station you can get is you can't
Oh,
watch
yes,
it.
man. The first game of the morning, the one everyone's hyping up, preview for the SEC, Alabama, Texas.
Alabama, Texas. Well, let's see. Texas lost their quarterback. Texas lost a few games last year, just like Nebraska. They're gonna go on the road to Alabama.
No, they're at home.
They're on.
Yeah,
Okay,
they're at Texas.
okay. So they're in Texas, and in 3 years, this will be a conference game.
Yes. You say them losing their quarterback, but everyone has them to win the Big 12. So you have the supposedly the best team in the Big 12, underdog by 20.
That happens all the time. Transfers all the time. Nebraska's starting quarterback transferred to the great state of Kansas,
Yeah, good.
Kansas State.
Yeah.
So Nebraska has Texas' former quarterback because he lost his starting job. And now they're going to have Alabama come in and knock him around a little bit. Alabama. Great coaches, great players. They've been doing this for the last 10 years.
Oh, good grief. Yeah.
Or more. They had the blueprint for winning consecutively in the playoffs. And now, in the last few weeks, the playoffs are going to adapt to the ever-changing landscape of college conferences and are going to allow 12 teams starting in 24 or 25. I don't remember.
That was 26, but they won it sooner.
Yeah, I think it happens sooner. I think everybody's going to be money hungry and be like, yes, let's do that.
I mean, segue from last week, we talked about the expansion and changing of the conferences. This lines right up with it.
So it's going to be 6 games or more, depending on how they have it set up. So
Right.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait for a playoff system for football.
Yeah, it's mostly in the pencil stage, but once they get it locked down to how many games and when they're going to start the weeks, yeah, I think it'll be almost like, another season within the season.
Well, they need to sharpen their pencils if it's in the pencil stage because I would like to see this happen. It needs to happen sooner than later. I'm Darrell. We've been doing a little blue collar sports talk with you. James, any final thoughts on anything you want to talk about?
No real final thoughts this week.
We got a couple Friday games. We didn't talk about any Friday games. Louisville and University of Central Florida and Boise State, New Mexico. Nothing crazy, but we got some college games tonight. And those are, let's see. The Alabama, Texas is at 11 o'clock start on Saturday. Wouldn't it be crazy if Arkansas State comes in and upsets Ohio State?
Oh, my. Vegas won't let that happen.
Yeah, I don't see that happening either, but we have a full day of football starting Saturday, and we have a full day of NFL football starting Sunday, a nice Monday night game. And we will come and talk to you more next Thursday for Blue Collar Sports Talk.
Have a good one.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you.